Well, Sunday in Miami, the Raiders and Dolphins, two teams traveling in the very same direction, look to create an about-face and turn their seasons around. So let's go Vegas Nation Red Zone and talk about what these two teams need to do in order to get a season-defining dub. I'm Bryan Salmond, and folks, this is Gilbert Manzano, who has a very informative piece on ReviewJournal.com. 5 things to look out for the Raiders and the Dolphins game. But in Red Zone, folks, we like to play a little game called Who You Got. And first and foremost, got to say, El Sharpo looking good as always, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you, Brian?
I'm doing well. So we're playing our game, Who You Got. We're going to start off with a pretty tough one here, quarterback. Who you got? You got Derek Carr, who has, he's 18th in passing yards. That's 30 yards less than Trevor Siemian has, which is pretty wild, I know. His QBR is 13th at 90.8. Jay Cutler has 5 interceptions. That's 1 less than Derek Carr, who has 6. Jay Cutler is 27th in QBR at 78.8, and he's 31st in passing yards. So, who you got?
I thought Jay Cutler would have 10 interceptions by now, but 5, that's pretty good for Jay Cutler.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But he's getting paid $10 million. Hasn't done much since coming out of retirement for Adam Gase. Kind of been a disaster for the Dolphins and Jay Cutler. I think they're last in total offense in the NFL.
Yeah, they're not good.
They're not good. But Derek Carr hasn't been that great either. So it's kind of a you gotta go Derek Carr. I can't even pick Jay Cutler. I'm going Derek Carr. I know he's having a bad year, but he still had that monster game against the Chiefs.
He did.
A decent performance against the Bills, 300 yards, kind of garbage yards at the end.
Yeah.
But, I think, the younger guy, the guy we kind of trust more, Jay Cutler, we've kind of seen what he could do, and it's not much lately.
And if you would have picked Jay Cutler, this whole interview would have been done, right?
We just walk off the set.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm Cam Newton. I'm getting out of here. All right, so who you got? We have the next one is the defense. The Raiders have 0 interceptions. You already know that.
Wow.
While the Dolphins are just above the Raiders. How about this? You know what I mean? They have 2.
A whopping 2?
Yeah, the Dolphins have only 2 interceptions. Their plus-minus is close. The Raiders are -6, Dolphins -4 total defense. The Raiders are 27th. They give up 23.8 points a game, basically 24, and the Dolphins are 5th in total defense, giving up 21. So it's kind of a close one. Who you got with the defense?
Yeah, after watching that last week Thursday Night Football game where the Dolphins gave up 40 points to Joe Flacco and the Ravens.
Who's terrible?
Or I guess Flacco's backup, Brian Malik, because he was out of the game.
That's right.
But they kind of been good this year on defense. The Miami Dolphins, they've been, I think they're 5th in total defense.
Yeah, that's what's
they're good rushing defense and passing actually. And you got Ndamukong Suh, who's finally earning his contract when he's not, trying to choke quarterbacks, but he's playing really well. And then Cameron Wake is coming out of nowhere to kind of revive his career. So I'm going with the Dolphins. Like you said, the Raiders can't even get an interception. They can't create turnovers. They're giving up 24 points per game. It's kind of easy. I'm going to Miami, and they'll probably, give some trouble to Derek Carr.
All right, so we got 1-1. We got Carr and the Raiders, and then we got the defense for the Dolphins. All right, so for the third who you got, we're talking about receivers. And when I first started going into this, I thought it was kind of close. We're thinking about the receivers. Michael Crabtree, 28th in total yards. Amari Cooper, 31st. Jared Cook, 40th. So that's not all that good. The Dolphins have 3 players in the top 40. The Raiders have 3 players in the top 40 in yards. The Dolphins have 1, and you already know who that is, Jarvis Landry. He's 32nd. But touchdowns, Crabtree is tied for 3rd in the NFL. He has 6, but no other receiver has more than 2 for the Raiders. The Dolphins, Kenny Stills has 4, Jarvis Landry has 3. So who you got with the receivers?
It is pretty close for wide receiver, and it's a lot of talented wide receivers too. The thing about these wide receivers, you need the quarterback to give you the ball. And
this is true.
We forgot about that. And Jay Cutler and Derek Carr not having the best season, so for them, they've had quiet years because they're not, getting the open looks, and especially. Mark Cooper, who's maybe it's his own fault for not getting open, or maybe Derek Carr just missing.
Or he can catch the ball.
Or catch the ball too. Stop dropping him. And Crabtree's been productive all year. But on the Dolphins, Landry's getting I think he has 50 receptions. He's always getting a guy who gets his catches, but he's not getting those yards or getting those long games.
Yeah.
Exactly, yards after catch. And Kenny Stills is a deep guy. You need to get the ball to the deep guy, and Jay Cutler's not doing that. But since from looking at the whole outlook, Crabtree's kind of been the top guy. He's one of the best guys in the NFL as a wide receiver. So I'll take the Raiders, even if it's just Crabtree and not Cooper.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, Crabtree, like I said, he's 3rd in the NFL in touchdowns right now. So, okay, so 4th one, and being that, obviously, folks, like I said, he's got an article on ReviewJournal.com, 5 things to look out for in this game, the Big 5. So we're going to talk about 4 things. And the fourth one right now is we're going to go with the rushing attack. Obviously, beast mode is coming back.
That's right.
This is a crazy stat. Marshawn Lynch is 33rd in the league in rushing right now. You know who has 33 more yards than he does?
No.
Deshaun Watson.
Really?
Deshaun Watson has 33 more yards.
Terrible news today about Deshaun Watson, by the way.
Oh, that hurt my heart. I'm not even a Texans fan, and you're not either.
I love watching him play, though.
Exactly. That's terrible. Out with an ACL during practice, non-contact. But yeah, he has more yards rushing than Marshawn Lynch. And the Dolphins, their best running back, Jay Ajayi.
He's in Philly.
Yeah, he doesn't play for the Dolphins anymore.
He's gone. Don't worry about them, Raiders.
Yeah, so it's kind of an easy one, but who you got there in the rushing attack?
You know, I know Jay Ajayi is a good running back. He has not having the best season, but I think that would have been easier for the Raiders instead of the guys coming in because Jay Ajayi is kind of a bruising running back who kind of
Marshawn Lynch type.
Exactly. He takes his time a little bit. What the Raiders struggle with is speed and guys who catch the ball off the backfield. And Kenyon Drake and Damian, exactly. And Damian Williams, they're not LaShawn McCoy, but they could provide some of those sparks. And I think that might be a little tougher for them. But again, you know, I don't know how great they're going to be, especially Noah Ajayi this week. But it could be a tough look for the Raiders to kind of contain Drake on the outside and Williams and a committee might, you know. And Ajayi, he might do better with a better line. The Dolphins don't have a great line, so who knows how it turns out.
Okay.
And we haven't seen much from Marshawn Lynch all year. You
mentioned
it. You know, quarterbacks are running more than him, and he's coming back from the suspension. Who knows where his mind is? And, you know, they need him to have a big game to win.
Richard and Washington. What about those guys committee? No.
Those guys are fumbling. Those guys are not doing so well.
They're
turning the ball over.
Yeah,
so it's kind of a surprise that I'm taking the Dolphins on this one.
Wow. So we have 2-2.
Wow.
All right,
pretty kind of even team, so why not?
Yeah. You know, which is crazy to me too. The Dolphins have a better record than the Raiders, which is
seriously, they're 4-3 somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah, they just gave them a win somewhere. I don't know what
somewhere.
happened.
I don't know where they got those victories.
All right, so he's got 2-2, and again, to read all 5 things that you need to watch for this game, you have to go to reviewjournal.com or our Vegas Nation app, and you can check that out there. So, lastly, we always get our picks. So, I guess 2-2. Who you got in the game?
You know, I know Raiders are still thinking playoffs. We're trying to kind of believe them and they have a shot. 3-5. You go into a bye week. I think for them, they really are serious about making this playoff. This has to be the game you win. If not, we're done with this team with the Raiders.
Yeah,
no playoffs. Over. The season's over, kind of. So I think Raiders will play well. They'll figure it out. They go into their bye week. I think they'll go into Miami and South Beach and give Jay Cutler some trouble. And Derek Carr gets it together for at least one more week.
At least one.
We'll see 2016 Derek Carr one more time. I don't know if he'll come back after that. Don't
He'll make an appearance.
Yeah. But I think Derek Carr will get it done and the Raiders win. I think I said earlier this week, 24-21. It'll be a little close.
Okay, all right. So he's got the Raiders and who you got. Again, folks, this is Gilbert Manzano, NFL writer for Review Journal on our NFL Vegas Nation Red Zone. Thank you very much, my man.
Thank you.